we're going to move on to finishing the shape of the face and the jaw, and also adding in the eyebrows, or that general area to finish off the eyes. So we just finished marking in, we have the neck and we have the chin, and we have the boundaries to the left and the right of the eye. And so now I want to draw in the eyebrows. So just how I did with the eyes, I want to think of my eyebrows as shapes. Looking for the negative space in between my eyelid and my actual eyebrow. So what does this actually look like, and what is the space here? I might also drop a vertical line to help myself see where the eyebrow actually starts, right? It's not necessarily over here, and it's not over here either. So it's just a little to the right of the eye. So I'm going to mark that in, and I'm going to look at the space between my eyelid and the bottom of the eyebrow. So something kind of like that. Then looking at this as a shape, goes up, 1, 2, and down 3. Flatten that off a bit more. And I'm going to really lightly mark in the top as well. And you can do the same thing to help you marking on your drawing. 1, 2, and 3. And then I'll repeat that process for my other, I'll repeat that process for my other eyebrow as well. So looking for the vertical line, where is that lining up? Little inside. Not very much space between my eyelid and the bottom of my eyebrow. Then coming up 2. And finishing it off 3. 1, 2, and 3. Same thing for the top, coming up, 2, and 3. Now I can go ahead and start thinking about the hairline. So depending on your photo and how your hair is, I like to first see, of course, where the hair is from the eyes, but also how far it is away from the eyebrows. So my hair is sweeping and it's really not too far over, so I can kind of guesstimate, okay, it's about there. Now for making this diagonal line, I need to find out where this point is. So the first thing I'm going to do is drop a vertical line to figure out where that's lining up. So it is just to the left of my iris. So coming up, okay, I know that's correct. And then to find out what this space is, I'm going to use my pencil and I'm going to measure my eye on my photo. And then I'm going to carry that measurement up to see how many eye spaces are in that space. So I'm measuring my eye right now, and I'm going up 1, 2, so I can see that for me, it's about 2 eye widths from my eyebrow. 1, 2. So it's going to be about there, and that at least gives me a starting point. So now I can connect this point that I have and this point to draw in where the hair is. You can also break this shape down even more. 1, 2, break that line down a little bit more, and that'll be helpful. So now that I have this vertical line here, I can see this as a shape, which will be helpful, and I already know where the end of my eyebrow is here. So I'm going to try to mimic that shape, something like that, okay? And then I'm going to bring it down here, noticing that it curves a bit. Then I want to break down the edge of my face again into lines. So looking at this as one line, coming down, one, then noticing it kind of comes down in a diagonal this way, two. I can even ask myself, okay, if this is lining up with the ball of my nose, then this is vertically coming up here. So that feels pretty good. Coming down, and I'll just follow all the way down doing the same thing. So if I want to know where this hits, drawing a vertical line coming up, it's hitting my eye, down, down. I might erase this as I go. Tweaking. This shape will probably change even a little bit more, but we just want to give ourselves a good place to start. Coming down here more, connecting to where I've drawn in the chin. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Meet you back here in a second. Now I'm going to move on to the hair. So I'm not going to full-blown shade the hair or anything yet. I just want to mark out the boundaries and get the general sections. So I know that I have this starting point here, and I'm going to think of this piece of hair as a shape coming down like that. I can identify that as one entire shape. Noticing that this point is right here, I'm going to actually draw this line that I just marked to help me. Come back up here, coming out, and then I'm going to connect it down here. Then I'm going to do that with all the other sections that I see. If your hair is really, really, really dark, or in your photo you can't see any sections, go ahead and go back into Photo Editor and change up the contrast and maybe change the brightness, and that'll help you see some things more. Otherwise, don't make up sections. If you don't see sections, then you can't just make them up out of thin air. And if you really are feeling stuck, jump back into the Google Meet and we can talk about where the sections are in your hair. So I'm just going to show an example of how I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to speed it up. There. Looking at where this lines up, so kind of in the middle of my chin. Out. Then it comes up. Then it comes out of here and goes down. So hopefully you're starting to see how drawing things more geometrically and using those horizontal and vertical lines to help you really pays off. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my hair. So now at this point, I should have the entire sort of foundation of my drawing. From this point on, it's really just refining, and then we'll move into shading.